All right, guys, it has been 2 weeks. Our beer has fermented in our carboy, and it's looking pretty good. I'll give you a shot at the airlock here. You can see it's still fermenting in there. That's CO2 coming off of it. This baby fermented. It really started quickly, and this was almost like it was boiling in here. There was so much CO2 being given off, and then it slowed down dramatically. We've kept our temperature right around, what is it right now? 64. It basically stayed between 64 and 72 the entire time. So I think we got some good use out of our yeast. You can see the Croissant has fallen, and I'll give you a shot at what the beer looks like here. So it's not necessarily a light beer, it's a darker ale, but it's an ale. And down here you can see the yeast and all the other sugars and such that have fallen to the bottom. So you can see that that's there. We're not going to suck that up today and put it in our bottles, but we are going to bottle today. So I'm pretty excited about this. I'm going to get the chance to show you guys how to condition or carbonate our beer in the bottles today, and I'm excited about that myself. So this is going to be really fun. Let me show you what we're going to use. We're going to use our Star Sands no rinse sanitizer. Got bottle caps here. Okay. Tubing. Got 2 sets of tubing. One we're going to use for our bottle filler, and the other we're going to use for our auto siphon. So when we start to siphon our beer into our bottle filling bucket. And obviously we've got some beer bottles. I've got, I didn't opt for the 12-ounce bottles. I went for the 22-ounce bottles. So, oh, and we've got our sugar here and our bottle capper. So what I'm going to do right now, y'all, is save you from the torture of watching me dump all this stuff in a bucket of sanitizer. I'm going to sanitize our bottle filling bucket. I'm going to sanitize our bottle lids, our tubing, our bottle filler, and our auto siphon. And while it's sanitizing, I'll come back and I'll take a final reading on the gravity of this and let you know exactly what we're dealing with in terms of alcohol percentage by volume. I've pulled out a tube of this with our Beer Thief, and now I'm going to go ahead and put the hydrometer in there, and we'll just drop in there, let it settle. And I've gone back and gotten my gravity from our first testing. All right, let's see what this is here. Hang on a minute, guys. I'll try to get my camera to focus in. Okay, we're looking at a gravity reading of about 1006. So if you look down below, down here, I'll go ahead and give you the equation for the gravity so you can get the alcohol percentage by volume. It's basically your first initial gravity reading that you took when you first boiled your wort and before you put your yeast in, and minus your second gravity reading, which is what we have just done, which is 1006. Our original was 142. So 142 minus 1006 is going to leave us with a number that we're going to divide by 0.776, and that's going to give us our alcohol percentage by volume, which this beer should be about 4.6% alcohol by volume. So it's not going to be a real heavy beer. It's not going to be like malt liquor. It's going to be like a normal brew. We still have 2 more weeks of fermenting to do with this, believe it or not, which is we're going to condition this in the bottle. So we'll have another, like I said, 2 weeks. But listen, guys, let me hold this up. You can see that amber color of it. So that's really nice. I like it. I wish I could get better lighting. I wish my camera would pick this up a little bit better, but this is as good as it gets. I'm going to go ahead and have a taste of this right now, so hang on. Wow. You can taste the malt. You can definitely taste the hops. I don't want to say it reminds me of an ice house. If you make your own beer, you can really tell what's in here. I'm getting all kind of flavors on the back of my tongue now. It's very flowery, estery. So it's flat as anything. It's super flat right now. But it's got a really nice flavor. Wow. Very crisp and clean. Kind of smoky as well. Shoot, man, this is pretty cool. We're going to take 16 ounces of water, 2 cups. That New Wave is awesome, y'all. Okay, and we're going to put it in our pot here. We're going to take about 6 ounces of sugar. And we're just going to make a simple syrup. Just going to stir this in, bring it to the boil, and then we'll cool it down to about 80 degrees, about the temperature of our beer here. Okay, I've attached our tube to our auto siphon. Auto siphon is this one long tube. Sucks air in or water down here, and when you pull up on this tube, pull up right here, just like this, it sucks water into the siphon here and down into the tube. I'm going to go ahead and insert it into our beer and get it into our bottling bucket. I wish I could show you guys this with one hand, but I can't. So hang on. Okay, guys, here it is. Got the beer flowing right into our bucket here. And we'll just go ahead and transfer this entire carboy into our bottling bucket. So there we are, empty. We were careful to leave this in the bottom. You want to follow your beer down with the end of your siphon. You don't want to stick your siphon in here and let it drop to the bottom and suck up all the gunk. You want to kind of follow it down with the tip of the siphon, and when you get to the end or close to the bottom, you want to tip your carboy over so the liquid's at an angle and you're going to get more of it. But now let's move on to this. This is our simple solution here, sugar solution, and this is our beer in our bottling bucket. We're going to go ahead and put this in. We don't want to stir up too much. We don't want to oxygenate the beer at this point at all. So we've got our sugar in there. We're going to gently stir this in and give it a good stir. And we'll let it sit for 20 minutes so the sugars can disperse evenly. And we'll go ahead and start bottling this. And what this is doing is when the beer goes in the bottle, even though we have a alcohol percentage right now of 4.6, we're still not through with the fermentation process. We're going to let it sit in our bottles for another 2 weeks. And this sugar will get eaten by the yeast that's still in here, and the carbon dioxide will build up and infuse the beer, and your beer will become carbonated. So we'll let this sit for 20. We'll be back, and we'll start bottling. I've attached our siphoning one to our bottling bucket, as you can see, and we've got our bottles here. I'm going to go ahead and fill one of these up. All you do is stick it in and press it down on the bottom of the bottle, and it'll start filling the bottle up with beer. And when you want the flow to stop, all you do is pick up the wand and you're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill these bottles up. Wish I had somebody here helping me, and we'll get to capping these guys. Finally at the stage I've wanted to get to for quite some time. Capping. Alright, I've sanitized our caps. All you got to do is put one of these on top here. Stay on there, baby. And come over here and grab your capper and open it up. Put it down on top. And all you got to do is pull your handles. You need both hands for this. Hang on one second. You get it down this far and then just open it back up. Like I said, much easier with two hands, enjoyable with two hands. And there is your capped beer ready for fermentation. Now we're going to let these sit for 2 more weeks, and what's going to happen is the CO2 is going to build up from that sugar that we put in earlier. It's going to go in, and the yeast that's still in here is going to continue to eat that sugar and ferment the beer, which will raise our alcohol percent by volume up a little higher and carbonate the beer. So we'll see you again in 2 weeks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Just thank you for watching, y'all. I'll see you in 2 weeks.